Welcome to the first 12 days of Christmas. 12 contests, 12 deck profiles. We have Gem coming up on the Forerunner. We're going to have Yu-Gi-Oh! Black Market getting involved with this. We have Tier 0 credit coming along the way. And we're just going to have a nice little fun one to start. So this was something I made very few of these. I think 3 of these exist. This is a cool little Orichalco Swing Dragon of Raw mat that I made into a cloth play mat. Kind of experiment around with. This is a really, really nice piece, honestly. Probably one of the coolest things I've had. We're going to be giving this out to one person today. So if you guys want to get internet, all you have to do is make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'd like to get to 85,000 by the end of the year, but once we start getting into more of the boxes and stuff, people will be a little bit more involved and crazy hype about this. So I think that this is a nice little way to kind of start things off. Like I said, we'll have more cool things coming along the way. I have some extra field centers from KGT coming along the way here, so we'll get around to that. But let's dig on into the first deck profile once you guys get in to win this bad boy, shall we? Alright, the first deck profile we have up is something a little bit more spicy. It's been a little while since we've actually looked at something like this. So, what is this monstrosity? This is our favorite giant ballpark / throw insects at the opponent. So, what kind of makes this deck cool is everything's going to revolve around giant ballpark. And if anything happens to the giant ballpark, you're walking away from the table extremely sad. So giant ballpark, during damage calculation, if a player takes battle damage, or would take battle damage, you can make it that neither player takes any battle damage from that battle. And if you do, you can send one level 4 or lower insect monster from your deck to the graveyard. But that's not all. Then, if you send a normal monster this way, you can special summon any number of monsters with the same name as that monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Alright, so basically you get a free mill 1 to summon out 3 creatures. Alright, if a monster or monsters you control sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, except during damage step, you can special summon 1 insect normal monster from your graveyard. Now, to capitalize on playing stupid vanilla monsters in your deck, you get rewarded for this pretty cool card, and basically allowing insects this kind of cute going second strategy, if you would. Is this deck super consistent? Oh my gosh, tier 1 bonkers? No, not really. Can the deck make Dragoon and anger the opponent? You bet it can. So to start things off here, we have triple copies of Alpha, Master of Beast. This is going to be our big pseudo extender because we're going to want to go second, because we're going to want to bring out our field spell and kind of interrupt the opponent on what they're doing. Now that the ceiling has been brought down on the format at this stage, that means that we're going to get the option to do more interrupting. Now, triple alpha means that we get more options to go second. You can also play some relatively spicy stuff in the deck. If you want to include the Pankratops for additional methods of going second, you can. But triple alpha is going to be one of your big headliners here. Now, we do have 2 copies of the Ezictopede. So this is going to be your cannot be normal summoner set, my stupid favorite clause. You have to summon it by banishing an insect monster from a graveyard and cannot be summoned by other methods. If it pings your opponent for battle damage, you're going to get to mill the top card of their deck. That doesn't really matter all that much. You just care more about the fact that this is going to be a 1900 insect extender for you. Now we have triple copies of Mothman. This is going to be an additional insect that we can capitalize onto the field, and at worst case we're going to get a draw 1, discard 1 off of this bad boy. Now we do have a mini kaiju package in here because as we're heading forward here, we know that Dragoons is going to be a relevant threat. We're going to need methods to clean up more troublesome cards. So by main decking 1 Doggeron, 1 copy of Godarla, and 1 copy of Gameciel, we're going to be kind of able to round out some of these more metagame threats, I would say, to ensure that this deck actually can play. We also have 2 Kumamungus in here, rounding out our Kaiju package to 5. So, it works. Now we have triple copies of Gokipole. So if this card is sent to the graveyard, we get to add 1 level 4 insect monster from our deck to our hand. If we actually add a normal monster, we get to special summon it. And then we can destroy 1 monster on the field with attack greater than or equal to that special summon monsters. So we can actually do some cute things here. We can Giant Ballpark, drop the Goki Pull, trigger the Goki Pull for the pop and the additional special, or we can actually just mill off our normal monster to summon out 3 of them. Now, interruptions or interactions aside, it's not the craziest, most powerful thing in the world, but it gets the job done. Now we have the triple copies of Resonance Insect. So if this is sent from the field to the graveyard, we can add a level 5 or higher insect monster from our deck to our hand. Well, level 5 or higher, so we can't recruit for this. But we actually get access to our Kaiju through this, which is actually kind of cute. And then if this card is banished, we can send an insect monster from our deck to the graveyard. So we'd be searching our Kaiju with this. Our insect normal monsters are triple copies of Insect Knight and triple copies of the shiny black Sea Squatter. You have a 2000 and a 1900, putting these at probably the strongest normal monsters that we actually have access to in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Besides, you know, other cool things. We have 1 Foolish Burrow, and then we have triple copies of Giant Ballpark. We're also playing 1 copy of the Gold Sark. This will actually let us banish the Resonance Insect, which will then trigger, we'll send an insect monster from the deck to the graveyard, which we can then send the Goki Pull, and then we can trigger the Goki Pull to get the special summon of the insect monster, and get the pop through the opponent's monster. All on 1 gold sarcophagus, by the way. It's kind of cute. Triple copies of the Interrupted Kaiju package. So officially our Kaiju package rounds out at about 8 cards. No real issues here. If you want to try out more, if you try this deck, that's on you. I don't think you want to push for too much more because you're going to start running into consistency issues. Now, we are playing triple copies of the Performapal Popper Upper. So we're going to send 3 cards from our hand to the graveyard, and then we're going to draw the same number of cards, and then we're going to eat some burn damage. But that's fine, because we'll be able to trigger off Resonance Insect. We'll also have access to trying to do some cute things here with the Goki Pull. Alright, all more interaction windows are opened up by Popper Up, just for slightly more consistency windows for this deck. We have triple copies of Pot of Extravagance. We need draw power. Pot of Disparity is going to be a future option that we will have, but as of this point, we're just going to play the triple extra to achieve what we want. We have 1 copy Terraforming, and then we have triple copies of the triple Tactical Talents. Now, getting hand trapped, I don't think is an immense issue with this deck. I do think that you can play around a bunch of things, but at this point in time, I would just try your best, see what craziness you're going to have to play around with in terms of boards being broken and things like that, and just try to get the best capitalization off of basically getting stunted. So activate extra, get ashed, activate talents. We're going to the same place. Alright, extra deck here we have 2 Almirage, 1 monster with 1,000 or less attack. So, I mean, we can convert the Goki Pull into this to start combo, which is kind of cool. 2 copies of Verte. We do have access to the Dragoon package in the side deck. It will basically give us stronger going second plays, which, like I said, is something that this deck kind of is going to want. We're going to have the Link Spider to convert our normal monsters. We have the Unicorn and the 2 copies of the Insector Piccolina. 1 access code. We have 2 Gaga Cowboys for time shenanigans. We have the 1 copy of the Drill Driver of Vespanada. It's super easy to make. We have 1 Abyss Dweller, and we have 2 copies of the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Now, you would think you would want to consider playing Double A Zeus in this deck, but you're going to run into some issues with that because Giant Ballpark over here is going to essentially turn that off, and you're not going to really be able to get what you want out of that. Side deck here, we have triple copies of Lancia, 1 copy of the Scythe, and we have this little Battle Wasp package. So if you control an insect monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then we're going to get to ping the opponent for 200, which is kind of cute. And then we have the triple copies of the Sting Poison. On normal or special, we're going to get to recruit for Battle Wasp, except for Sting, which actually will search for the Pin the Bullseye, which then we can special summon the Pin the Bullseye, make the Dragoon. Alright, who doesn't love when their normal summon is uninterrupted? Then we have the 1 Dark Magician, the 1 Red Eyes, the 1 Feather Duster, the 1 Red Eyes Fusion, and the triple copies of the Artifact Sanctum, kind of rounding out a little bit, I would say, of a fun little deck for everybody. So, Giant Ballpark's probably been one of my favorite things, especially just insects don't get a lot of love ever, and the fact that they got something is actually quite nice. So guys, if you want to get in today's contest, leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys get in to win that, and we'll be back tomorrow with the winner and the next part of the 12 Days of Christmas, or 12 Days of Deck Profiles and contest. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Peace out. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.